guys, so we're here with LJ the Osteo at the Altona Osteopathic Clinic. Thanks for being here with me.
No worries, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We've been having a bit of fun and we just thought that we'd love to get LJ on camera. And the reason I'm so keen to engage is because you are at the forefront of health, fitness and leadership.
Thank
And LJ's been treating a number of our clients from CrossFit 3018 and doing a fantastic job. So
Thank you, we try.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your background, you know, whether it's sporting background and how you became an osteo.
So I've kind of always been involved in sport and fitness, in the sport and fitness industry, in terms of growing up playing every sport possible that I could. So basketball, netball, athletics, that kind of thing. My dad is a sprinter and he's still actively in his late 50s and still sprinting at an international level, which is awesome. So I've always had him as a bit of a mentor to look forward to. And as I grew up and got into picking just one sport, I picked athletics. So sprinting is what I do. I still compete now. I still compete weekends through the summer and everything like that.
Wow.
So yeah, looking up to him and seeing that, I've always just been active in fitness in my whole life. So yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this sprinting, because being an osteo, you know, you're very, very busy. You're working like everyone else, but still to be athletic. How do you balance that? What are you dealing with?
Yeah, that is a hard juggle sometimes. I think being at uni and being a sprinter was a lot easier than working full time and being a sprinter.
Yes.
But I kind of just have to add it in, make time for it, that kind of thing. It's obviously quite physically demanding on your body, along with physically demanding work of being an osteopath as well. So just making sure I make time for my gym and my sprinting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just a bit of a juggle, but we get there. It's important to me, so I make it a priority.
Yeah, awesome. I've seen your little 20-second Instagram stories where you're getting in your little workout in the middle of the day and making it count.
You literally need to get it in at lunchtime if you can. There's small spurts of when you can add in exercise in a day, but I try and get it in because when you get to competition and you haven't done the work, it shows. So
yeah, and I suppose that's one of the ways you maintain a healthy body yourself.
Yeah, exactly right. It's all about, if I'm not doing sprinting, I'm doing gym or Pilates or boxing or something. I'm always kind of active doing something, which is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And
you've been here quite a long time. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been here at the Altona Osteopathic Clinic.
So we started the osteopathic clinic 6 years ago. We turned 6 in January. We opened it as a family. So we opened it 6 years ago. We were all kind of together. I was doing osteopathy. My dad was already an osteopath. And we were like, we need to open a business together. And where else would you open it but Altona? We were all living here and it's awesome. So we thought we'd open it here. So we started off really quite small. It was just, I was doing massage at the time because I was studying osteopathy. So dad was our osteopath. I was a massage therapist. My brother was studying myotherapy. And we chucked my beautiful mum on the front desk and said, figure out how to use a computer. And yeah, we started off like that. And now we've got 8 osteopaths, 2 reception staff, a podiatrist and a myotherapist as well. So we've grown a lot over the 6 years, which is awesome. Yeah.
And this room doesn't really look like your normal room.
No, this is our gym rehab room. So we run active classes, functional classes in here. We kind of, when we first opened, this was actually a yoga studio, which wasn't ours. And then over the years, the yoga studio left and we opened this as ours and use it as a gym. So over the last 2 to 3 years, I think we're using this a lot more. We run our classes here 4 times a day. Our practitioners bring patients in here and use this within the treatment. So it's not just treatment on the table, it's treatment in here as well, which is good.
And how's that affecting the results that you're getting?
We love it. So it's changed a lot. And I think that's interesting how I've changed from when I first started. When I first started to just try and fix everybody on the table by poking and prodding till it got better. We kind of opened our world to movement and got people in here, moving them around and making them move a little bit better. Educating them on how movement is so important and how we're probably not doing it too well. Especially these days, we're sitting a lot more as well. So bringing that movement into it has helped me get the patients off the table and into here, which is really good.
Should we be doing this like this?
I don't know, maybe.
Stretching
Should we
out
get
the
a
hips
bit active when we're doing it? Like some squats while we're here.
We could just do that every minute on the minute.
Done. I don't know, I'll be puffing probably. So yeah, no, it's really good
Yeah.
living here as well.
And it is a wonderful family vibe, because I came in and I was greeted, and within 3 minutes I knew everyone, and I realised that my mum was getting treated here.
It's a small world. You don't get anything past us in here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's very, I think the family vibe is the most important part to us here. Like, you're greeted, we treat every patient like our family, which I think is our main philosophy here. If you would refer your mum to a specialist, then you'd refer your patients to a specialist. If you wouldn't do that particular technique with your dad, then you wouldn't do it with your patients. So the minute they walk in, they see Rosie's smiling face and they're greeted with a beautiful Scottish accent, and they just feel right at home. We've tried not to make it too clinical, and we've tried to make it really, really homely and a really nice vibe. So once we normally treat someone in the family, we tend to treat the whole family, which is really good and really special. So yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Being an osteo, okay, it wasn't always on the forefront of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into it?
Okay.
Because it sounded to me before like you were dealing with a bit of pain yourself.
So obviously growing up in sprinting and athletics and sport, you have your fair share of niggles and pain and everything.
Yeah.
And I was experiencing some pain in my lower rib area, and it was catching me on breathing when I was running and when I was moving my arms in running. And I was getting it treated locally, and I was from Bacchus Marsh, and I was getting it treated locally there by a range of different healthcare practitioners, and it wasn't getting too much better. And I thought, this can't be it. I'm really young, 16 or 17, and my dad at the time, so my dad's previously an engineer, and he decided to have a midlife crisis and start osteopathy. But anyhow, he was doing, that's another story, he was doing massage therapy at a clinic in Moonee Ponds. And he was doing that for an osteo, so he would massage and then the osteo would come in and do their techniques. And he said, come through and see this guy. I was like, okay, cool. So I went in, he did a bit of an assessment, soft tissue, and then he used some particular techniques and manipulated my spine, and I had instantaneous relief. And I was like, wow, who is this wizard? I need to do this. And I think me and my dad both probably at that time went, this is cool, we need to do this. So he then went back the next year and started doing osteopathy. I went through my high school and I started 3 years later.
Yes.
So I was in my first year of osteo and he was in his fourth. And then, so we're at uni at the same time together, which was interesting. And then it had its days. And then, once he started working somewhere else, and then as I came up into my final year, that's when we decided to open this clinic and work together as a family. So I always knew I wanted to get into the health industry somehow, whether it be PE teacher or occupational therapist or something. But then the minute he came home from his first day at uni and showed me what he'd been learning, I was like, that's for me. That is so cool. So yeah, and it's just been the best ever since. So I love it. It's really good.
And as far as how you were treated and you got that instant result, do you find that different patients get different results? Like obviously...
Totally. I was about to say, I wish... I probably would have preferred to be treated for a few treatments and then got that response, because I think it made me think as an osteopath I could just fix everyone in one treatment, and it's not necessarily the case a lot of the time. It takes time, and it takes a few treatments sometimes to get any response from that. So I think that has probably influenced how I treat. But over the 5 years since I've been graduated, it's probably changed a lot. Initially, I thought I could do what this person had done. Now, he had 20 plus years experience. Yes. He was amazing, and I thought I could fix everyone in one treatment. Not the case. So I've progressed over the 5 years to know that it's not just what happens on the treatment table. It's a lot more. It encapsulates so much more than what just happens on the table. What happens outside of the treatment room, what the patient's doing outside of the treatment room, how much they comply with stretching and the advice we give them. And
the body that comes in, like you as a 16, 17-year-old, supple and nimble and healthy, compared to your 40-year-old man who's been stuck at the computer.
And that's my favourite part about the job. You never know, when a new patient books in, you never know what's going to walk through your door. It could be a 12-month baby, it could be a teenager, 11, 12, it could be someone in the 80s or 90s. So I treat basically people from their 6 months, probably younger, through to, I've got a lovely 98-year-old lady that I treat as well, and she's just beautiful. So you treat everyone and everyone, big, small, young, old, supple, not so supple, injured, not injured. You treat everyone, and that's the best part about it. So, but you do, I think that's my second favourite part.
Give it.
We don't just, you don't just throw the same techniques at everybody. Everyone's different. And I think you need to figure out what's going to work for that patient. And that's why I love it. And that's why I think I like this clinic so much because we're all trying to chase what's going to work for that patient. Chase the diagnosis, chase what techniques are going to work. It's not going to, if it doesn't work on that patient, try something different.
Yes.
You know, and every patient's different. So that's what I love about it. Yeah.
What I've noticed with personal trainers is they get spat out at rapid fire pace.
Yep.
And me in CrossFit 3018, we try and hire some of the best trainers.
Yep.
And when you go to other ones, sometimes it's hit or miss. I feel like therapists, osteopaths, physios, chiros, similar kind of thing. Even though it takes a long time to get your qualification, it also takes a lot of years to become experienced and be good at what you do.
Yeah, and that's a hard one because I think, and this, I mean, I love osteopathy, but I love every profession as well. Chiros, physios, OTs, massage therapists, myotherapists. I think you've just got to find what works for you as well. So if you go somewhere and see an osteopath and you don't get good results, don't give up on osteopathy. Try another person, or try physio, or try myo. Like, osteo's not going to work for everyone. Physio's not going to work for everyone. Try and find, there has to be some relief out there for you. You just need to find what it is. Yeah. So keep searching for that as well, which I think is important.
I love that.
We've got, as I said, 8 osteos, a podiatrist, a myo. We've got 10 practitioners here. If someone comes in to see me and I can't help them, I get 10 other brains in that room and we figure out what's happening, because that's only fair for the patient to have 10 minds thinking about it, because I'm not going to fix everybody. So we run regular meetings in here, we run regular tutorials, information sessions with all of our practitioners. We're all learning, we're all doing extra CPD training and all that kind of stuff. So it's about just increasing your knowledge of what else can I learn that's going to help more people, kind of thing. So
and you're seeing
does
so
that
many.
help answer that? I think?
Well, it does, because you're always seeing new people in new circumstances.
Yeah.
So it's about being at the edge of learning.
Exactly, and figuring that out, because there's going to be stuff that walks in your door and the patient goes, "Have you heard of this?" And you go, "Nope, never heard of it, but I'm going to research it. And I'm going to figure out how I can help."
And that's the person you want treating you. At the end of the day, it's the one that's going to kill.
And I think, patients really appreciate that. Like when they come in and I say, "Okay, so what have you done?" "Oh, well, I've had this treatment and that treatment." "And what did they say was going on?" "Oh, they didn't really say anything. They just said, come back this time." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's try and figure out what it is so that you can be educated on what it is. I'll explain the process to you so that then you know if you've got impingement in your shoulder, there's no point in painting the roof next week. It's not going to help you, you know, that kind of thing."
Yes.
And it's also, you can't give the same rehab exercise to a mum who's got 3 kids as you can to someone who's got no responsibilities potentially at home. They can do their exercises 7 times a day.
Yeah.
This mum's, you need to find ways that the mum's going to be able to do her rehab.
Yeah.
It might be lifting a baby. It might be rolling on the floor with the baby and playing and just doing an exercise. It's about finding that thing, and I think that's why I just love this clinic. We're all trying to figure out what's best for everybody.
I think that's the next level care. Is really understanding who you're dealing with and how you can help them.
Definitely. And as I said, if you don't get better, let us know. We'll find someone else. We'll figure out where you need to go to help get you better, kind of thing. And that's the thing, similar with trainers as well. Your training style might not suit someone, but then the next person's in your gym might. Awesome.
Yeah.
Find out what works for you.
Even better.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's say I'm going to paint the ceiling.
Yeah.
The shoulder starts hurting.
Yep.
At what point does it become a problem where I should go and see an osteo? Like, should I wait to have pain before I come and get an appointment?
Yeah.
Should I get an annual checkup?
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
I'm confused.
Yeah, no, totally. I think a lot of people feel that they probably need to have pain to come here. Yeah. And a lot of people that walk in normally have pain. We're starting to filter through some that are going, "I don't have pain. I do, you know, CrossFit, or I do F45, or I do gym, and I'm just feeling a bit stiff or a bit, you know, I just wanted a checkup." And I'm like, yes, they're the patients I love, because you can make a few simple adjustments to how they're moving or what they're doing, or, you know, widening their foot stance or whatever, and they're like, yeah, that's so much better. It's not about necessarily having pain. With that said, the majority of our percentage of people that come in have pain. I believe that if it's affecting your everyday life and you're feeling this pain more often in each day, come in and get it checked out. A lot of people, what they do is wait until it's too late.
Yes.
And for instance, say their low back's been a little bit twingy and a little bit tight for weeks, months, maybe even years. And then all of a sudden they lift a spoon out of the dishwasher and it goes, and it's like, ugh. And then it takes us sometimes 6 weeks of quite a few treatments to get them back to even walking and moving properly. Yeah. If we can get that maintained and managed, they might see us 6 times a year, 12 times a year. There's people that come in and I see them twice a year. They're happy, they come in, what's going on? Nothing, just a tune up.
Yeah.
Great. You see what's tight, you loosen what's tight, that kind of thing, and they feel great. How often do you get your car serviced?
Twice a year.
Twice a year?
Yeah.
Your car's working, you're working pretty hard.
Yeah.
Twice a year, 3 times a year, just tune your body up. You know, a bit of a maintenance, grease and oil change kind of situation. That's what I love.
Basic screen.
Yeah.
Check how everything's sliding and
Check
gliding.
how everything's moving, exactly. Things can change, you know. You might have a mum who's not had a baby, and they come through the pregnancy, and then they have a baby, and their life changes of what they're having to do, or their tasks, or someone who's never worked out before, and then they come to you, they want to do CrossFit.
Yeah.
All of these different forces are being placed on the body. Their body's not used to that. For instance, me was a uni student. I didn't know what it would be like to be leaning over a table.
Yeah.
However many hours, so I need to get tune-ups.
Yeah.
My body's not used to being in this position. It's about, I think it's maintenance is my key. Yeah.
Something we see a lot with our athletes or members is people, when they come to us, they're at a certain level of fitness and strength or flexibility, and then they get stronger and they get fitter, but some things get left behind.
Yeah.
Whether it be a bit extra mobility, whether it be just a general checkup.
Yeah.
And then they get stronger and fitter and stronger and fitter, and what they can do with their body is greater, but what their body can handle hasn't increased.
Hasn't increased, yeah.
And it's like the core's been left behind, or the flexibility's been left behind.
Flexibility and mobility is a huge thing that I think people miss. I'm on the foam roller every day.
Yeah.
And when you tell a patient, I just need you to foam roll just this one area once a day, and they come back and go, I maybe done it twice, and you're like,
in 2 weeks.
no, there's not enough times. Like, I'm on it every single day. Foam roller, ball, stretching. And
tell us why.
When those muscles, you're using those muscles and those muscles get tight, the muscles act on the joints, and the joints almost become stiff sometimes. You can continually activate and use these muscles. If you don't help loosen them and stretch them, their functionality decreases a lot of the time. There's a lot of research and probably debate around stretching and rolling and pre and post exercise and all that kind of stuff. Again, you just need to find out what works for you. I'm a big person, I've got to get on the roller before training, and then after I've just got to calm. You know, I don't do a lot of active drills at the end, I do a lot of active drills at the start, that kind of thing. Like, every body and person is different. You need to find what works for you.
We have a lot of people that have knee pain at times.
Yep.
And if we can get a barbell through the quads or a foam roller down the IT band,
beautiful.
Generally within like 3 minutes, the pain's gone.
Pain's gone.
We do that for a week, they got no issues for 3 months or 6 months.
Exactly, and you
Someone else lets it
lag.
lag.
They never have the issues.
Yeah.
Not necessarily never have the issues, but they're less likely to have that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've had your fair share of injuries, which we've discussed as well. It's not
Let's make a list.
I know, write it down. It's not a matter of just going, the injury's there, and you've got to deal with it. You've got to be proactive in that, and I think that's just super important to go forward in your gym and everything, to excel and go forward. But taking that step back, some people concentrate on those bigger muscles and maybe forget the smaller ones.
Yes.
So some exercises we give to people who could be deadlifting hundreds of kilos, we give them this tiny little exercise and they go, that's ridiculous. we prime that for a few months and they go, oh, my deadlift got heavier. Awesome. Like, cool, makes sense, So
and I'm not broken.
Yeah, I know. So that's the best part.
Yeah.
But I think it's that whole body, mind. You've got to get the whole thing right, I think, a lot of the time as well. But as I said, osteopathy doesn't just treat athletes, it treats everybody. It treats people who don't do any exercise.
One of the things we do is we call everyone athletes who walks in the gym.
Yeah, definitely.
So whether they're fit or not, we're calling them athletes.
No, they're all athletes, they're all doing stuff. Doesn't matter how fit or unfit you are, as long as you're doing some sort of movement. But what I was seeing was patients coming in, normally with like generalized upper back pain, upper neck pain. It's just tight, it's sore, and it's a bit burny, and it's in the middle here, and I'm like, okay, tell me your day, like, talk to me about your day. Well, I get up, sit and have breakfast, I sit on the train, I sit at work, I have my breaks at my desk. I don't really get up for my breaks, and then sometimes I'll get up for lunch, but it's normally a meeting, and then I sit on the train home, and then I have dinner sitting, and then I sit and watch TV, and I'm like, okay, cool. How about we try and get you moving 3 times a week? Come in into our gym and do the 3 sessions a week. Now they're not on my table anymore. Yes. I see them 3 times a year, and I see them 3 times a week in here.
So is that good business or not?
I don't believe getting that patient into your treatment room weekly is the business we're after here. If we can get people better,
yes,
that's the business that I'm after. If we get someone better, if we get you better, you're going to tell everyone.
I got 100 mates.
Yeah, seriously.
If I can get my 100 mates healthy,
and then help their 100 mates,
they're coming here.
That's my business approach to that, and I think that's what the clinic works on.
Yeah.
I don't just want to keep treating people on a thing and they're not getting any better. So introducing them to movement is key. Yeah. Awesome. And moving properly.
Well, I love that you're at the forefront of it all.
Thank you.
I've had heaps of fun.
Excellent, me too.
And I think we'll probably do this again because we had so much fun.
Definitely, I want to talk more. Love a chat.
All right, thanks LJ. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Thanks.
See you again.